Hello everybody, Smith here. Welcome back to some more BD Armory. Today we are taking a look at rocket fighters. In the background you can see me taking off and messing around with my own craft, the Asteroid, which is sort of my modern take on the Messerschmitt 163, by which I mean I had about 3 minutes to throw together something vaguely 163-ish, and this is the best I could do. To cut a long story short, the Messerschmitt Me-163 Comet was developed by Germany towards the end of the Second World War, and its rocket engine was designed to give it unparalleled performance, at least for the short time before its fuel ran out and it would have to glide back to base. The concept sounded promising enough, but the reality of the situation meant that rocket fighters never really lived up to expectations, and the Comet remains the only operational rocket fighter in history. But this is KSP. We're only as constrained by these things as we want to be, really. So what happens if we give some aspects of reality the day off and try the whole thing again? Here it is then, possibly the dumbest idea I've ever had, and that has some competition. This is the rocket version of my own Lynx fighter. What I've done is I've swapped out the two Saturn engines for two of these rocket vector engines. I've changed the fuel in some of these tanks. I've had to adjust a lot of the wing surfaces because these things are heavy and that really messes with the centre of lift and centre of mass. So I've made sure the centre of lift and centre of mass are, roughly the same distance apart and in the same direction they are in the regular craft. Now, the sensible thing to do, of course, would be to turn down the gimballing on these engines because it can really gimbal, and to rebalance and retune this, which is why we're not going to do any of that. No. And as I said, we are only as constrained in this game by reality as we want to be, so we are going to open up the cheats menu and stick on infinite propellant. So instead of a craft that will last about 30 seconds, we have a craft that will last about as long as we need it to. Anyway, let's see how this thing flies. Let's get everything turned on, brakes off, and just shove it up to full throttle. Oh my god. Oh, why am I allowed to do these things? Oh, did you see the wings flex there? Oh, that was kind of beautiful. Yeah. Just point itself right backwards. It doesn't care. Yeah, this is... You can keep your Cobra maneuver, just up and down and up and down as we want to be. So, this thing is just absurd, beautifully so, but not quite as much as if we go and chuck it into some combat. So, yeah, let's go do that. I think the first test of any fighter aircraft like this should be to send it up against its closest analogue to see if it actually is an improvement over what you already have. To that end, we are sending up two of my rocket Lynxes against two of my more traditional Lynxes. Yeah, this I have no idea how this is going to go. Let's get it started. So the competition starts to... Oh, that is just ridiculous. Somewhat compensating for these new engines is the fact these rocket Lynxes are significantly heavier, not just the engines but also the fuel load. I kind of had to put a heavy fuel load in them because otherwise I couldn't get the centre of mass far enough forward to actually make these work. But missiles flying in the rocket Lynxes, you will not be surprised to hear having very little difficulty dodging those missiles. They can just point themselves basically in any direction they like and start popping countermeasures. Oh my god. Yes, the rocket Lynxes, having gotten away both their volleys of AMRAAMs, the Chet Lynxes, though, seem to be doing a reasonably good... I was about to say doing a reasonably good job of lining up a shot there. At least Ion Kerman was, but the rocket-powered Lynx is very quickly around, as you'd imagine it would be, and trying to line up a shot of its own. So will slow and steady win the day? Oh, it might do here. That is a heavy hit on the rocket Lynx, but the rocket Lynx is very quickly back around. Yeah, it might... Oh, the sound bug struck again. Oh, bloody hell. Really, really want to track down the cause of that, because that is just starting to get old now. Anyway, how are we doing? Yes, oh, Ion Kerman in the rocket Lynx manages to get another shot away. Yeah, I thought the rocket craft would probably do better than this. I thought, a straight like-for-like fight, they'd probably win easily, but like the aforementioned Comet, it appears like the practical considerations are Well, I mean, it's a very different story. Oh my god, nearly a hand-to-hand kill. What is going on there? That is one of the craft. Yeah, that's one of the rocket lynxes in a bit of difficulty. Sound bug strikes again. Yeah, it appears... where is it? No major damage. Oh, control surface missing. Yeah, it turns out being able to flip around easily might lose you just too much speed, and then you can just... Yeah. They can just... Your opponent can just catch you up and just put the boot in. So, maybe not as good a concept as I thought, but still gloriously... Yeah, Kerbal having a great deal of difficulty controlling his craft here. I thought the AI might be able to handle these a little bit better, but clearly not. How's the other rocket lynx getting on? The other rocket lynx has had half the craft shot off and is now in a death spin towards the ground. Come on, Kerbal. You can save this one for us. Not if you keep doing spins like that, you can't. And I think another death spiral is about to happen. Yeah. The regular lynxes will try and put the boot in. Yeah, maybe I should have turned down the gimbal on these after all. But it just I don't know why. I thought if you're going ridiculous, you know, go all out. In for a penny, in for a pound. Anyway, let's move on and see what else we can do to test these things. Okay, so we may need to turn down the gimbal a little bit if we've got to have any chance of getting these things to work. So we are going to do exactly the same thing, but with my Red Hawks instead of my Lynxes. Yeah, so these have had the gimbaling reduced by a lot. I've also made some adjustments to the AI tune, just in the hope that that will allow them to cope with these huge engines with what is still a pretty significant gimbal on them. Let's oh, I should put them onto different teams first, shouldn't I? Let's get this one going. So our second set of rocket fighters enters combat. Yeah, not quite as stable as they could be, although the Red Hawk has had a bit of a history of sometimes showing some instability. Hopefully, no, they're both dead. Not quite though. Ghosty Kerbal. Oh no! No! That was the other Red Hawk that got minced. I thought it was both of these that got minced. No! The Rocket Red Hawks win! I really should learn to pay more attention to this. Huh. So it turns out that... I mean, we didn't really get into gun range, so it's not really an entirely comprehensive test, but a win's a win, and I will take that, because God knows I need it with these craft. Ghosty Kerbal still doing surprisingly well. Anyway, let's move on. So far these infinite rocket fighters have been very much a mixed bag. I think if I want to get one properly combat ready, it's going to take a lot of time and effort. But I couldn't really let today's video end without us actually seeing a rocket fighter versus rocket fighter fight. That's a lot of fights in one sentence. Anyway, yes. So the Rocket Lynx against the Rocket Red Hawk. Let's do this. And our little competition starts. Lunar Kerbal. I think what helps, I think the Lynx has the wing area to sort of carry this off, but I don't think the Red Hawk does. I think that might be why we've seen some stability issues in the Red Hawk that we didn't see quite to the same extent in the Lynx. I mean, the Red Hawk did actually win their fight, which is something the Red Hawk... the Red Hawk did win its fight, which is something the Lynx didn't manage, but... yeah, I just get the feeling the Lynx is kind of better suited to it. We will see here. I think this is more of a test of that. Lunar Kerbal comes around trying to line up a shot on that Red Hawk, who is, yeah, suffering for a little bit of that instability I was talking about. The problem is with just closing the distance so quickly with these craft. It's really difficult to line up a shot. Oh, missiles coming in. Lunar Kerbal has to pop some countermeasures, and one of the Red Hawks gets a shot away as well. That's the other thing. These Red Hawks are so unstable, they can just like flip round and fire off a missile, and it's weird how this thing is turning out. Sort of very much not as you'd expect. Anyway, Luna Kerman pulls a hard turn, lining up one of the Lynxes. Lining up one of the Redhawks. Can't quite manage it. This fight might go on for a while. Oh, Luna Kerman trying to line up a shot. Does some damage. I don't think it was anything fatal. The Lynx is sort of starting to come back into this fight. Our missile is fired. Luna Kerman having to avoid, but can put on plenty of speed very, very quickly. Still carrying two of those. That was an explosion. That was Luna Kerman coming under heavy gunfire. Oh, the other pair of fighters has also closed the distance and is now just sort of circling around each other. Oh, that is one of the Redhawks taking some damage. Oh my god, one of the Lynxes and one of the Redhawks rammed each other. I think that was one of the only ways we're actually going to get any kind of resolution to this, but it looks like the Redhawk has come away from it relatively unscathed. The Lynx is in trouble now. Luna Kerman's craft is a lot more unstable than it was, and yeah, she is having a hard time controlling it. Might crash into the sea here, yes! Ion Kerman, that was a beautiful little manoeuvre there. Lost a control. Is that all this craft lost in that? Was a single control surface. Yeah, I think the adjustments I've made have sort of made this craft a lot more stable than it was. It's actually managing to use the ability to super maneuver to good effect now, which I don't think I managed to do with the Lynxes. Legolat Kerman does still have one engine remaining, but unfortunately, using it is going to put him into a terminal spin. That was quite impressive. Just launching the cockpit right across the ocean. Yeah. Legolat does survive it. So, Ion Kerman, yeah, I think if you could sort of get this set up properly and tuned out, I think these might be devastatingly effective, but generally, no. I think this is definitely one of the dumbest ideas I've ever had. That will be all for today, though. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please consider liking, subscribing, following me on Twitter, getting involved with the Discord, the great KSP and BD Armory community on there. If you want to help support the channel, you can also find links to the PayPal and the Patreon in the description, along with links to everything else. You too can get yourself your own little patron Kerbal here, as well as access to the Patreon Discord and all that jazz. I will be back soon with some, hopefully, more sensible BD Armory, but in the meantime, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.